Good morning, everybody. Hello, I'm Dr. Pallavi, and today we are going to start your subject that is in BTech first year, that is communication skills, and we will focus on that why communication skills is important and why we need to focus on in this subject, because as we are going into professional life, that is why communication skills plays a very vital role in everybody's life. Okay, let's start. The first, it says, like John Powell, that communication works for those who work at it. Okay, so there are four major things that listening, speaking, writing, and reading. These are four important parts for communication, and we must need to know that why these four skills are important. And unless we are working on these, we are not going to get success in our life. Okay. Now, what is communication? It is derived from the Latin word communicare, means to share. Okay. Communication is an exchange of thoughts, messages, or information by speech, visuals, signals, writing, or behavior. Okay. When we are seeing in this picture, we are getting the point that when two people are talking, they are conversing, they are sharing their thoughts, their expressions, how to speak, and how the person is sending the message to the other one, and the other one is the receiver who is getting the message. Okay, now there are lots of definitions of communication. Communication is a process involving the selection, production, and transmission of signs in such a way as to help a receiver perceive a meaning similar to that in the mind of the communicator. Okay, now as you can see the picture, that communication, it gives us so many messages. Okay, we can have contact with each other, networking cell is there, messages are passed on, letters can also be the messenger of the content, report writing, speech, internet, mobile, social talks, okay, emails, chatting. These all are the examples of that how communication is transferred from one person to the another. Now, there are so many definitions of communication by different people. If we see the first definition, it is the process of passing information and understanding from one person to another. As I'm sharing my point of views, my ideas to you people, so that we can have a good sending of the messages, sending of the information, and you are getting the information in a proper manner. Second, it is the behavior which results in an exchange of meaning. Okay, whatever I'm delivering to you people, that is that how you take the content. Is it understandable or it is not? Process of meaningful interactions among the human beings. Okay, when we are conversing with our friends, our family members, we are exchanging our ideas, we are exchanging our happiness, we are exchanging our thoughts, so many things. Okay, so information is passed between individuals and or companies by means of previously agreed symbols. Okay, if we are going into our professional life, we are definitely going to exchange, but we must understand the value of communication, that how it must be communicated. Is it communicated in a healthy manner or not? Okay, so the next is the communication process. Now the communication process, as you can see in the picture, we are having the first thing, that is the sender, that is me, and I'm encoding the message to you people. Okay, I'm delivering my speech, my lecture to you people. Then it will go for decoding, then you will understand the content, then you will listen to the content, and then you are the receiver. You have understood the content, you have gained the knowledge, and then you can give me the response. Okay, now what is the response you will give me? Like the in the chat box you are giving me your response. Okay, then I will get the feedback, and then it will come back to me. Okay, now this is the communication process. Now, why it is important? It is in the professional world, communication decides a person's career curve. Better the communication skills, higher are the chances of touching the zenith of success. Okay, as we can see in the picture, there are lots of people from different countries and different cultures. Okay, so they are happily connected, interconnected with each other, because they are expressing their ideas, their thoughts, and this in this way the communication process goes on. The new global and diverse workplace requires excellent spoken and written communication skills. Okay, if a person is not good in spoken English, he or she can communicate in any language, and that is the written communication. Okay, when it is in the written form, it can be easily and nicely understood. Okay, now the process of communication, how the process of communication continues. The first thing is the formation of communicative motivation or reason. What is the reason why we are communicating, and what is the motivation behind the communication? Information is encoded channeled through different resources and sent by a sender to a receiver via some medium, okay, by a mobile phone, by SMS, by emails, by letters, etc. So all forms of communication require a sender, main important thing, channel, from which channel you are sending the SMS, a message, then a receiver, and lastly feedback. Now a hindrance. Hindrance means that is the obstacle in the communication process is called noise. Okay, if I'm communicating something to the other person, like I'm communicating something to the students, okay, and then something is disturbing me, noise is coming, somebody's doing noise in the background of my lecture, that will be a hindrance on an obstacle. Okay, now this picture says that input and output. Okay, input is I'm listening, okay, if you are talking, and if I'm talking you are listening, okay, that is the input. And output is when we speak out, okay. Another input is reading, when you are in the written communication, and the output is writing, whatever you have understood, okay. So these four are the major things of communication, that when people listen to it, then they will get the knowledge, and then they will outpour the ideas, the emotions, the thoughts in the speaking manner in which they are speaking, they are explaining the things. When we are reading out something, we are inputting, okay, we are taking the inputs of the specific content, okay. Now, and what is the output? Then whatever I have learned, what I have gained, I will go for in a written information. Next is, when I'm saying that all these four communication skills, these important skills, why these are important? So it says that reading is one amongst other tools for self-development and learning. And it is the important that we see books in a positive interplay with other media. Okay. See students, we are having the content in reading. When we read the content, it is important that what we are reading out. If I'm going for an English book, or if I'm reading a novel, if I'm reading a newspaper, what are the important things in that particular, newspaper or the books? The essence of the modern library concept is that libraries give access to information content, whatever the media is. Okay, if I'm going from ebooks, if I'm learning something, if I'm reading out something. But we must maintain that reading and consequently books should still be given first priority in the libraries. Okay, if we are reading, we are gaining much more. Okay, and the challenge facing us is to persuade children and the young to share this point of view, that reading skills are imperative for ability to develop both as people and in professional sense. Reading skills are absolutely essential for the educational advancement. Okay, when you are entering into the university, you are going to come very soon in the university. So after coming to the university, you will get your contents, you will have your books, you will have your notes, and then whatever material we are reading, whatever material we are learning, that is very important. That is the very first step of the knowledge. Okay, now why is reading and writing instructions are important? Writing is one of the best ways for the students to demonstrate critical thinking and present evidence of learning. Okay, see, when we are writing something, when we are having the content, we are that much aware that what is right and what is wrong. Okay, we can make out the balance, we can make out the judgment. Okay, so writing gives us critical thinking, that how this sentence must be written. For example, if I say glass, water, need, okay, now these three words, they don't make a complete sense. And if I've gone through the grammar portion, if I've gone through the grammar and the verb patterns, I will make the sentence and I will say, I need a glass of water. That is why writing is important. Writing requires the author to be thoughtful. Okay, somebody, people, lots of students, they are very much interested in writing poetry, they are very much interested in writing novels, they are very much interested, in becoming good writers and authors. So they love the fictions part. Okay, so that is why this thought process continues in them. Okay, and with writing of that, they will become successful authors. So considering the ideas, evaluating the reasons and the evidences, this all make you good when you're having good writing skills. Writing is a tool that students can use throughout life. Okay, you can write anywhere. If you're writing a simple letter to your grandparents, if you're writing a simple letter, if you're writing an email, your emotions are the one that plays a vital role, that what type of letter you are writing. If you're writing a letter to your grandparents, that is an informal letter. how are you, Nana, how you are, Nani, these things, And when you're writing to a formal letter, you are, sir, respected sir, through this I'm going to want to make your concern. These types of things, like you have that is the very strong tool where you express your ideas. Okay, it is a form of communication that cannot be erased. Written form cannot be erased. Okay, writing gives ideas a form of permanence. Okay, whatever you have learned, whatever you have gained, you have get that into your minds, that I have gone through the grammar portion, and that is why I will make it much more clear, and I will give much more clarity in my writing. That will be very much, fulfilled. Okay, so writing should be very big, that becomes personal. Every student should feel as if they know their voice and how to adapt to audience, content, and context. Okay, so writing here plays a vital role. Some important speaking skills during public speaking. See, nowadays we see that people prefer to have a public speaking, and everybody wants to come up on the stage and share his ideas and show his talents. Okay, so when we are going for public speaking, we should always select, research a topic. Okay, that is the very first point of any topic, that you must go through that topic. Organize your ideas logically, one by one, what is important. Okay, employ quotations, facts, and statistics. If you are having the data, if you're going for the PPTs, if you're going for any type of any research work, you should employ these quotations, especially for the students who are in English. The incorporate humor as well. Okay, if you're having a pinch of humor, that is very good. Okay, start strong, end stronger. If you're having the content, if you're starting your introduction in a very full of strength, that will give an impact to the other people. Yes, his introduction is nice. Analyze the audience. Okay, you have to analyze the audience, whether the audience, they are listening, they're taking interest in your speech or not. Punctuate words with gestures, very vocal pace, tone, volume. You must have that understanding that where your volume must be high, where your pitch must be low. That is very important while giving the speech. Okay, that is very important for public speaking. Interact with audience by holding question answers session. Very important. If the content, whatever the content is given to you people, you must have the questions and answers as well. Seek the feedback. You must have the feedback, that how I have performed, how I have analyzed, how I have, given my speech. You must have the feedback as well. Convince or persuade listeners when necessary. You must convince the audience as well. Unless and until you are having that audience interacting with you, you are not going to have the feedback. Okay, so you must be aware of, you must persuade the audience that they must get that persuasiveness. Yes, I'm right or wrong. Okay, act and speak ethically. See, ethics are very important part when you're going for public speaking. Next is importance of listening. See, everybody knows that you can be a good speaker if you are a good listener. Okay, so the importance of listening extends far beyond academic and professional settings. Understanding how to practice good communication, even in your day-to-day life among friends, family, significant others, is important for a number of reasons. Okay, when you are listening to your family members, when you are listening to your friends, when you are listening in your professional lives, it is very important that you are going to be a good speaker and you're going to be a good learner as well. Okay, fostering good self-esteem. Good listening, effective listening will make you into a better personality. Maximizing productivity. The more you will listen, the more things you are going to get in your life. Improving relationships. You will have strong bonds with your family members, with your friends, with the colleagues as well, and even becoming a better speaker. Okay. Next, importance of spoken English. Now, why this is very important, it is considered as a major trait that if you're not good at spoken English, you're not going to become a good person. Okay, because it's fun. Why we must go for the spoken English? Because it's fun. By learning English, you will also learn about other cultures as well. Okay, few experiences will make you grow as a person more than learning the values. Okay, the more you are moving, the more you are getting into the interacting with people, interacting with your friends, the more cultures you're going to get into, habits, way of life in a culture that is different from yours. Okay, you're going to learn new cultures when you're interacting with the other people of other culture. Okay, it will also help to solve situations, handling problems. Okay, if somebody is involved in any problem, if you are a good listener, if you are a good speaker, you will definitely sort out the problems if you are listening to them. Okay, then you have to make out the solutions of the problems. Create good relationship with friends and clients. It will enhance listening skills and memory as well. Okay, see, it is said that if somebody is having a problem, it is you must not go and sort out the things. Okay, but if you are listening to both the parties, you are not in a dilemma, then you can make out the clarity of the things. Okay, it improves your personality, builds up career opportunities to lead a booming start of the living. When you are entering into your professional life, it will definitely help you out. English is not only useful, it gives you a lot of satisfaction as well. Okay, as we see in this global world, everybody says that, do you know English, do you know this language? Okay, and if we are not having that type of listening, and if we are not having that type of understanding with the language, we will not be able to express the thoughts and sort out the problems. Okay, so you will enjoy learning English if you remember that every hour you spend gets you closer to perfection. Okay, every minute changes you, every minute, every second, it will make you into a good personality. Now, types of communication. How many types of communication are there? First is on the basis of relationship elements. Okay, interpersonal, intrapersonal, organizational, and mass communication. On the basis of channels, how many channels there are? There are one, verbal and non-verbal. On the basis of purpose and style, okay, formal and informal, as I have told you earlier. On the basis of direction, like one way, if I'm just giving my message to one people, two way, if two people are interacting, upward, that is in business communication, we see the informations go on upward, and then downward, then lateral. This is all in the business communication part. Now, what is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is process of exchange of information, ideas, feelings, meaning between two or more people, as we can see in these pictures, through verbal and non-verbal methods. Okay, often includes face-to-face exchange of messages, especially in interpersonal communication. For example, if we are going for client meetings, if we are employing having employee performance reviews and the project discussion, so that is the mass communication. Okay, next is, what is intrapersonal communication? Intrapersonal communication is all about with oneself. If I'm communicating with me only in a lonely room, okay, if I'm sitting alone in my room and then I'm communicating with myself, it includes internal monologue. I'm talking to myself. Imagination, visualization, I'm visualizing something. Internal conflict, if I want to sort out my conflicts of mind, resolution, individual reflections, contemplation, meditations, etc. So these are all the examples of intrapersonal communication. Now, what is verbal communication? Verbal communication is all about oral communication. First is oral and the second is written. Oral communication is a face-to-face interaction between sender and the receiver. I'm sender, you are the receiver, giving out a presentation. Okay. Second is written communication. The sender uses the written mode to transmit his or her message. Okay. For example, writing the reports, project reports, email writing. Then non-verbal communication. As we can see in the picture, you will see different five people are sitting over here, and the one is yawning, the other is meditating, the third is working on his laptop, fourth is she's thinking about something, and the fourth one is engaged with somebody on his cell phone. So message is communicated without using a word. Okay, so these are non-verbal communication. The first picture shows that she's not interested. Second is she's not taking care of. Third, he's busy in his own self. Fourth is again meditating. And fifth one is he's busy with somebody else. So the process requires non-verbal cues to be transmitted and received. If you people are not listening to me, that is your sign. Or if you're not looking at me, that is you're not interested in my presentation. Okay, facial expressions, postures, eye contact, walking, personal voice, sign language, body language, language volume, pitch, voice modulation, etc. So these are all things that, yes, non-verbal communication is there. Now, non-verbal communication also have these special parts, that is kinesics. Okay, that is or body movements, deliberate hand gestures and head movements. Okay, Proxim is measure of physical distance, from which distance the people are interacting. Posture, the way you are sitting, the way you are standing. Eye contact, way of gauging interest or disinterest. If I'm looking directly at you, yes, I'm having an interest interacting with you. Okay, if I'm looking here and there, it means I'm not interested in your presentation. Touch, physical touch like a hug and a handshake. If I'm having a good handshake, yes, I'm feeling the warmth of your hand. That is, I'm very much happy to meet you. Paralanguage, vocal qualities like loudness, tone of voice. Facial expressions, indicators of someone's attitude. If I'm doing like this, I'm not interested. If I'm saying yes, of course, so that is my attitude is positive. Physiology, changes in body physiology like an increase in sweat or blinking rapidly. Okay, if I'm showing that I'm having lack of confidence. Now, what is formal communication? We can see this in this picture that formal communication is communication through formal channels in organizational structure along the lines of authority. Okay, if I'm meeting, if I'm going to meet a client, if I'm going into a big, large meeting, if I'm going to a big get together of any organization, that is formal meeting, and I'm going for formal communication. Such communications are in writing and may take any form, policy, manual, procedures, rule book, memoranda, official meetings, reports, etc. So these are goes on in formal meetings. Informal communication, we see the people are relaxing, they're having a good time with their friends, they're enjoying their drink. So communication through channels other than formal channels does not follow lines of authority. There's no authority in this informal communication. With that goes between your families and friends. Communication is usually oral and may be covered even by simple glance, gesture, smile, or silence. Okay. It includes grapevine communication. We can say that goes in business communication. Okay. Two-way communication. When the two people are interacting, as I've told you earlier, transmission in which both parties are involved to transmit information. For example, chat rooms, instant messaging, telephone conversations, example. Okay, so these are now the main thing is barriers to effective communication. What are the barriers to effective communication? These are, first of all, we must learn that what are the barriers first. Okay, a problem, external or internal, that causes our communication to be distorted is known as a barrier to effective communication. Okay, if I'm having a noise in my background, if I'm just getting distracted by somebody other's presence, these all are the barriers for effective communication. Now this can be divided into two parts. External barriers are caused by external factors such as noise, network issues, etc. So internal barriers are mental. If I'm not in my senses, I'm not working out properly. Psychological blocks are there. If I'm surviving with something, okay, which is affects the communication process. Now, what are the tips to overcome these psychological barriers, external or internal barriers? First is develop empathy and flexibility. You must be flexible throughout your communication process, that you can relax, you can justify, you can have your own satisfaction, and just have a lot of patience. Provide positive criticism. If something is not liked by anybody, okay, take that criticism in a positive manner. If you are taking it in a negative manner, that will definitely hurt you emotionally. That will definitely hurt you emotionally and mentally as well. And that will definitely affect into your body parts. Okay. Create mutual understanding. If I'm not able to express my ideas, I should not get out of my patience. I must have that patience, and I must learn that where I was wrong, where I committed the wrong things. Maintain positive body language. Always go for positive body language, because positive body language goes to positive vibrations. And if you're having those positive vibrations, you will definitely have those things into you. Okay. Avoid stereotyping. Don't try to copy other people. Okay. Next is emotional interference. What are the emotional barriers? Emotional barriers to communication are generally due to insufficient emotional awareness or control. If you're having that type of emotional, if you're an emotional person, like I am an emotional person, okay, but that is not important, that should not be there, that I just go on crying on small things, little things. Okay, So you have to be emotionally very strong. Major emotional factors that interfere in communication are anger. If I'm in a position of anger, I'm not going to deliver any lecture. If I'm worried, I will definitely not go for a good presentation. If I'm full of pride, yes, I know everything, nobody's going to judge me out. No, it's not like that. Okay. Anxiety, if I'm feeling down. Okay. Stress, if I'm in a stress, I'm not feeling, I'm having that low esteem. Okay, so these are all emotional barriers to communication. You are not going to communicate very well in your professional life if you are suffering from all these 4 or 5 parts. Okay. Now, tips to overcome. How to overcome these emotional barriers? Use body language sparingly. Sparingly, that is like you have to be very positive with your body as well. Avoid using jargons. Don't repeat the things out. Respect the dissimilarities. Okay, whatever the things are going on around or before you or after you, so don't try to just go after them. Just respect. Avoid commenting about culture, especially very important for each and every person to understand that never comment on anybody's culture. Okay, maintain work-life balance. You have to make a balance between your home, your work. You have, if you're going to, maintain the balance, you can easily get into a professional life. Okay, don't indulge these two things. Now, what are the 7 C's of effective communication? 7 C's of effective communication. These are important factors that can result in effective communication. Okay. So, what are these? That first is clarity. If you are giving out any content, if you're giving out any presentation, you must be clear about your content and you must know that what is there. You must have a clear understanding and knowledge as well. Second is concise. Don't exaggerate the things. Okay, don't make lengthy things. Okay, make it concise and you can easily explain to them. Third is correct. You should always use the correct things. You should go always for correct facts, for correct data, correct strategy, correct plans, so that the presentation will become into a good mood. Then the complete thing. Your presentations must be complete. Incomplete work will make you confused, will be that will be that, yes, I'm not having that complete thing in my life, or if I'm not having a complete plan, if I'm not going to have that complete presentation, I will be in a dilemma, position of dilemma. Okay. Consideration is very important. If you are collecting the facts with full consideration, you will have the correct data. Concrete, it must be, you can say it must be in small, okay, short things. Don't make lengthy presentations, so the person will start not interacting and he will lose interest in your presentation. Courtesy, very important factor of communication, is that if you are a courteous person, if you're having politeness in your personality, if you're having that type of patience, if you're a good listener, then this courtesy will make you a successful person in the life. Next is applications. Okay, why these all 7 C's are important? To communicate effectively at workplace. Okay, when you are communicating effectively, when you are in a professional life, when you're working with your colleagues, with your friends, with the persons, okay, at your workplace, that is the benefit in your life. Introspect the reason behind the ineffective communication. You must understand that if you're not a good communicator, what is the reason behind that? What are the problems? You must overcome those problems. You must sort out the problems and you must go for the effective communication. To get a fair idea about which barrier is causing ineffective communication. Okay, if you're having that fair idea that which barrier is causing, that if you will know that which barrier was most important, why are the hurdles, they were coming in my good communication, you must remove those. Okay, overcome various barriers to communication by using various tips. You can go for different tips as I have shown you earlier, then you can overcome these barriers of communication. Now apply all these 7 C's to make a proper communication. How to communicate, how to talk, how to take control of yourself. So these steps of meditation will help you to overcome your barriers of communication, and then these 7 C's will help you to get into the professional life. Now, effective communication skills. Now, why these effective communication skills? What are the basic needs? Observance. As I have told you that listening is very important, observance is also, there important. Why? When we are observing the things in our professional life, we are learning from them. Without speaking, we are learning from them. We are observing the things, how this machine is working, how these things are happening, what is the, major, how the Major important traits are at workplace. What type of things we must take care of? Clarity and brevity. Okay, we must be clear, we must be honest at our workplace. Listening and understanding, respect each other, respect everyone, listen to everyone carefully. Don't give your outputs at once. You must have that clear understanding. Emotional intelligence, you must work out with emotional intelligence. Okay, you're working intelligently, but if you're having that factor of emotional intelligence, that will definitely be the cream of your personality. Okay, self-efficacy, you must be self-efficient, like how much work you can do, how much work you can have, how much burden can you take. These all are the things that will definitely come out that yes, you are a person who can take the opportunities and responsibilities at once. Respectfulness, that is, everybody knows that respect each and everyone, give respect, take respect. Non-verbal communication, your gestures must not show that you are not a good person, you are not a good personality. Always go for positive gestures. Selection of the right medium, you must have that type of right medium, that how to select where to talk, what not to talk. That is the very it's very simple thread, very single thread. You must understand the balance, that what should be spoken and what should not be. Okay, you must always have that type of understanding, that what must be said at what place at what time. Three things you must get that. Providing feedback, always give feedback to the work done by the other people. If somebody has done a great work, you must say yes, you must appreciate the person, yes, you have done a great job. That is the part of communication skills. And if somebody has not done his work efficiently, you must not say that you haven't done this. No, okay, try later. Okay, that is time is okay, you must try later on. Top creative thinking skills, very important for learners of effective communication skills. Why? First, analytical. You must be analytical, ability to analyze the things first. If we are a good analyzer, we can see the things, we can make out the judgments, but we should not speak that. If we are in a learning process, we should not just go for analyzing the things, that what things are happening around you. Open minded, accept the things open heartedly, thinking of things no one else has considered before. Always rethink the things. Okay, remind. Problem solving attitude, your attitude must be ability to solve an important issue. You must have that type of thinking, that how I can sort out the things, how can I solve the problem, how can I help the other person. This will definitely increase you. Now, organization, in which type of organization you are working. Are you being able to structure a plan of action with clear goals and deadlines? You are a good meditator, or you are a good person, you are having a direct thing, that this you are a person of like having a determined factor, that I can do it, I have gone to this situation. So these things. Okay, communication, that should be strong written and oral skills, ability to listen, ask the right questions at the right time. So these are the top creative thinking skills you must have. Usually better and usually worse. In effective communication, some things are usually worse when you don't try and when you don't try to improve. First is when you don't read. If you're not reading, you're not getting the knowledge. If you're not sitting, you're not in a habit of sitting, you are moving here and there while the person is going. Next, standing still, it makes more worse the situation. Speaking in a monotone, speaking in a simple tone, yes, 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 yes. So that will make into a lethargic tone. Mumbling, murmurizing the things, facing downwards, not looking, having the interaction. Eye contact is not there. Staring at your laptop, no, it's not like that. Get lost in details, not giving appropriate things, having no visual aids, running overtime if you're going explaining the content when the time has run. Don't practicing because you are too busy working on the slides. Start without an overview, trail off without a conclusion, ignoring audience behavior, emulating your advisor, even he or she giving lousy talk. So these are the things which make the situation and the conversation worse. Okay, what are the better things for a better communication? When you are talking, that is the interaction part. Second, you are standing, you are moving, but when your content is going on, when you are in an expressive mood. You are varying the pitch of your voice, sometimes high, sometimes low, speaking loudly, facing the audience, making the eye contact, focusing on definitely main points, using the outlines, images, charts. Finish within your time limit. You are rehearsing the things, you're practicing the things twice, thrice, summarizing your main points at the beginning and the end. Noticing your audience, responding to its needs, what the audience is, having that really need of. Emulating excellent speakers. So these things will make you definitely a better speaker. Next is thank you, and I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you.